Can you still do 5 everyday moves that most older adults struggle with? They may seem small, but losing them can quietly chip away at your independence and confidence. Today, we're uncovering what they are and why keeping them could be the key to staying strong, mobile, and free. As we age, it's natural to focus on the big health warnings, things like heart attacks or strokes, but often it's not the big events that change our lives the most. It's the small, hidden declines that slip in quietly, almost unnoticed. Those simple movements we once did without a second thought suddenly feel a little harder. And when these little abilities fade, they don't just affect our body. They slowly erode our self-assurance, our independence, and our freedom to live the life we want. In this video, we'll explore 5 simple but powerful actions that most older adults can't do anymore, but should. These aren't just fitness challenges. They're clear indicators of how well your body is truly aging. More importantly, they're skills you can improve starting right now. Stay with me until the end, because these aren't flashy exercises pulled from a magazine. They are real-life challenges that reveal your balance, strength, mobility, and overall health more honestly than any routine checkup could. And if you discover you can't do one of them today, don't worry, this isn't the end of your journey. It's the starting point for reclaiming your abilities. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video that helps you stay sharp, strong, and independent. Let's begin. Number 1. Standing on one foot for 10 seconds without support. It may sound simple, but the ability to hold your balance on one foot for just 10 seconds without holding onto a wall, chair, or countertop is something that 97% of older adults lose without even realizing it. This isn't about athletic performance. It's about connection. The moment you lift one foot off the ground, your brain, muscles, and joints must work together in perfect harmony. Your nerves, muscles, and joints must coordinate in real time to keep you steady. This remarkable teamwork is known as proprioception, your body's own internal GPS system. But as we get older, this system naturally weakens unless we actively train it. The challenge is, in everyday life, we rarely put our balance to the test. Most floors are perfectly flat, most movements are predictable, and we often move in ways that don't challenge stability. That's why declining balance doesn't always feel urgent, until one day it results in a fall. Take the story of Don, a 77-year-old man with no major health problems. He enjoyed daily walks, solved crossword puzzles, and cared for his garden. One day, during a routine wellness class, the instructor asked participants to stand on one foot. Don chuckled, until he tried. He couldn't make it past 3 seconds. That brief moment opened his eyes to just how fragile his balance had become. Determined to change, Don began practicing near his kitchen counter, just 10 seconds a day, lifting one foot and holding. After a few weeks, he reached his goal. The most surprising part? It wasn't only the improvement in balance, it was the boost in confidence. He felt lighter, quicker on his feet, and the quiet fear of falling, which he hadn't even admitted to himself before, began to fade away. If you're curious about your own balance, test yourself right now. Stand behind a sturdy chair, lift one foot, and count slowly. If you wobble, that's perfectly fine. But don't brush it off. Balance isn't only about preventing falls. It's about being able to turn quickly, reach for something overhead, step sideways to avoid an obstacle, or recover when the unexpected happens. And here's something many people overlook. Balance is deeply tied to brain health. Research shows that poor balance can sometimes be an early sign of cognitive decline. That means improving your stability benefits more than just your body. It also supports your brain. This isn't about comparing yourself to anyone else. It's about checking in with your own body. 10 seconds may not sound like much, but the ability to stand tall and steady without fear is one of the clearest signals that your body still trusts itself. And if that trust has weakened a bit, you can rebuild it, one foot at a time. Number 2, sitting down on the floor and getting back up without using your hands. This is one of the most revealing ways to measure your overall strength, mobility, and coordination. It may sound simple, but it's a move many haven't attempted in years. Sit all the way down on the floor, then rise back up, without leaning on your hands for support. Avoiding the use of your arms or knees for support during this movement may sound simple, but it's far from easy. It's not about speed, it's about how your body responds under the challenge. To do it well, you need balance, lower body strength, core control, flexibility, and mental coordination all working in harmony. And that's exactly why this is considered one of the most powerful functional aging tests. As the years go by, many of us quietly stop sitting on the floor without even realizing it. We avoid it because getting up feels awkward. Our knees might feel stiff, our hips tighter, and before we know it, we start making subtle choices that limit our freedom, like avoiding activities that require kneeling, bending, or reaching down low. Take Alice, for example. At 74, she hadn't sat on the floor in over 10 years. "That's for kids and yoga people," she would say with a laugh. But one afternoon, while visiting her granddaughter, she decided to join her on the playmat. She managed to get down, but when it came time to stand back up, she had to grab the couch for support. The moment caught her off guard. Later, her doctor explained, if you lose the ability to rise from the floor unassisted, your risk of losing independence in the next few years rises significantly. That single movement reflects the strength and resilience of your whole body. That conversation stayed with Alice. Determined to change, she began practicing. At first, she used a pillow to make sitting more comfortable. She strengthened her legs with supported squats, loosened her hips with gentle stretches, and worked on engaging her core. Progress was slow, but week by week she improved. Eventually, she could sit down and rise without using her hands at all. She told me it made her feel 20 years younger, not just physically, but in spirit. If you decide to try this test, make safety your priority. Use a soft rug, keep a sturdy chair nearby, and lower yourself with control. Then, see if you can stand without using your hands or knees to push off. If you can't, that's not failure. It's a signal. It's your body telling you that certain muscles and joints need attention before they weaken further. The encouraging part? This ability isn't lost forever. With slow, consistent practice, almost anyone can improve. Your body remains remarkably adaptable, even well into your 70s or 80s, as long as you treat it with patience and care. This isn't about becoming an athlete. It's about staying functional and prepared. Because if you ever fall, drop something, or want to sit on the floor to play with your grandkids, you'll want the confidence of knowing you can always get back up again. If you're still here watching and finding these insights helpful, let me know by commenting number 2 below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Your support allows us to keep creating valuable content to inform, inspire, and help you stay independent for as long as possible. Now, let's move on. Number 3, climbing a flight of stairs without holding the railing or stopping midway. Stairs have a way of telling the truth about your legs, lungs, and heart. One of the clearest, yet most overlooked signs of aging is the quiet transition from moving upstairs with confidence to approaching them with caution, pausing for a break, or automatically reaching for the railing every time. It's not only about having strong legs. Climbing stairs demands coordination, healthy joints, good cardiovascular endurance, and trust in your balance. When even one of those areas starts to weaken, your body begins to hesitate. And that hesitation, if left unchecked, can slowly become a habit. For many older adults, the shift happens so gradually, they barely notice it. Maybe it starts with a bit of knee discomfort, then a touch of breathlessness, and eventually the consistent habit of holding the handrail just in case. What begins as a precaution can quickly turn into dependence. Take Glenn, for example. At 79, he had lived in a 2-story home for more than 4 decades. He used to take the stairs with ease, never giving it a second thought. But recently, he found himself relying on the railing and taking short breaks halfway up. He didn't mention it to anyone until one morning he nearly tripped because his foot didn't lift quite high enough. His doctor explained that the ability to climb stairs unassisted is more than a simple test. It's a strong predictor of both independence and heart health. Glenn decided to take the warning seriously. He began incorporating basic leg-strengthening exercises into his routine: step-ups, wall sits, calf raises, and committed to daily walks to improve his endurance. The changes came faster than he expected. Within a few weeks, he noticed he wasn't short of breath by the third step. Within a few months, he could climb an entire flight smoothly, without grabbing the railing once. And along with the physical improvement came something even more rewarding: pride. If you can climb a flight of stairs confidently, without using your hands for support or stopping to catch your breath, it's a powerful sign that your body is still functioning at a high level. But if you struggle even a little, that's a message your body is sending, and it's worth paying attention to. The cause could be tight hip flexors, weak glutes, limited ankle mobility, or a decline in cardiovascular endurance. But here's the encouraging part: none of these issues are permanent. With the right approach, you can work on them gently, safely, and consistently. If stairs aren't a regular part of your life anymore, that's fine. You can still train your body to handle the movement. Try low step-ups on a sturdy platform or walk on gentle outdoor inclines. The goal is to keep your legs strong enough, your heart steady enough, and your balance stable enough so you can move up and down with ease and without fear. Because the moment you stop trusting yourself on stairs is the moment your world begins to shrink. The good news? You can reclaim that confidence, one deliberate step at a time. Number 4. Turning your head fully from side to side without stiffness or pain. It sounds simple, just turning your head, but as we age, this basic movement often becomes more restricted than we realize, and the impact goes far beyond comfort. The mobility of your neck plays a critical role in your balance, your safety, and your ability to remain independent. Think about it. When you cross a busy street, you turn your head to check for traffic. When you drive, you glance over your shoulder to change lanes. When you navigate a crowded store or step off a curb, you scan your surroundings. If your neck can't move freely, your body starts compensating in other ways. And that's when problems begin. Over time, a stiff neck can lead to poor posture, reduced spatial awareness, and an increased risk of falls. The trouble is, it happens gradually. Many people don't even notice it's getting worse until something unexpected forces them to confront it. Barbara, at 76, learned this firsthand. She had a minor fender bender while pulling out of her driveway. It wasn't serious, but when her son asked why she hadn't seen the other car, she hesitated before admitting, "I couldn't quite turn all the way." Her doctor discovered tightness in her cervical spine, along with stiffness linked to arthritis. What surprised Barbara most wasn't the diagnosis. It was how quickly things began to improve once she took action. With just a few minutes each day of slow head turns, shoulder rolls, and gentle resistance exercises, she noticed her range of motion returning. Her movements became smoother, her posture straighter, and she felt more aware of her surroundings than she had in years. Within just a few weeks, Barbara noticed she could turn her head fully without tension, and not only when driving. Even something as simple as walking through her neighborhood felt easier, smoother, and more fluid. You can try this yourself. Stand or sit up tall, then slowly turn your head to the right and then to the left. Does it feel smooth? Do you hear any cracking sounds or feel tightness in your shoulders or upper back? If you find that you can't rotate at least 60 degrees without effort, that's a clear sign your mobility is limited. Neck stiffness isn't just about age, it's about use. The less you move, the more your body starts to lock itself into smaller, safer ranges of motion. But here's the problem: those so-called safe zones slowly shrink your world. When your head can't turn freely, your entire sense of balance, awareness, and spatial confidence is affected. The good news is, you don't need to be as flexible as a gymnast to restore healthy movement. You simply need enough mobility to turn, tilt, and scan your surroundings safely and comfortably. That begins with small, consistent actions. Whether you're sitting in a chair, lying in bed, or standing in your kitchen, take a minute each day to gently turn your head, tilt it side to side, and roll it slowly. Loosen what's stiff and remind your body that it still remembers how to move. Because when your head moves freely, the rest of your body follows, and life starts to feel a little bigger, a little clearer, and a lot more open. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, let me know by commenting number 4 below. And if you haven't already subscribed, now's a good time. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video that helps you stay strong, mobile, and independent. Your support keeps this channel going and allows us to create more content that informs and inspires you. Number 5. Carrying a 10-pound object across the room without losing posture or breath. At first, this may sound like nothing more than an everyday chore, but in reality, it reveals much more about your health and physical capacity than most people realize. The ability to carry a 10-pound item, whether it's a small grocery bag, a laundry basket, or a box of books, from one side of the room to the other without hunching over, losing your breath, or having to stop, is a quiet yet powerful test of real-world strength, endurance, and control. The surprising part? It's a test that many older adults begin to fail gradually, without even noticing. Over time, as we age, muscle mass declines, grip strength weakens, lung capacity starts to fade. And before we realize it, something that once felt effortless begins to feel like real work. You may not notice the change when you're sitting still or standing in place, but the moment you add weight, movement, and a bit of time together, that's when your body starts to reveal the truth. Take Ray, for example. At 82, he had always taken pride in doing his own grocery shopping. But lately, he found that carrying his bags from the car to the kitchen left him more winded than before. One afternoon, he caught a glimpse of himself in the hallway mirror, leaning forward, shuffling slightly, shoulders rounded. It hit him then. He hadn't realized just how much strength he'd lost, or how that loss was beginning to affect his posture, his balance, and even his breathing. Ray didn't give up. He started small, with simple resistance training at home. Using soup cans and light dumbbells, he began walking short distances with a small weight in each hand. He made a conscious effort to stand tall, pull his shoulders back, and engage his core with every step. Over the weeks, his endurance grew. A few months later, not only could he carry his groceries without feeling winded, but he also noticed he felt stronger and steadier just walking down the hallway. You can test yourself right now. Pick up something that weighs around 10 pounds, a filled water jug, a small laundry basket, or a box of books. Walk 20 to 30 feet. Do you stay upright, or do your shoulders round forward? Does your grip weaken? Do you find yourself pausing to catch your breath? This isn't about weightlifting, it's about real-life function. True strength means being able to carry your own bags, move a chair, help a neighbor, or hold your grandchild without strain. And here's something worth remembering. Your core isn't just your stomach. It's the entire system of muscles that keep you upright, steady, and strong. Without a strong core, even carrying a light object becomes a challenge. With it, everyday life feels easier, more active, and far more free. If this feels difficult for you now, don't be discouraged. It's simply a starting point. By adding small, safe exercises like walking while holding weights, doing seated rows with a resistance band, or squeezing a tennis ball daily to strengthen your grip, you can rebuild what time has taken away. Because the truth is, strength after 70 isn't about showing off. It's about showing up. Showing up for your life, your home, and your future. Final thoughts. Now that you've seen all 5 of these everyday movements, how many could you do comfortably? 1, 2, maybe none at all? Here's the reality. This video isn't meant to judge you. It's meant to wake up the part of you that still wants to grow, to challenge yourself, and to regain strength, even if you haven't felt that spark in years. For most people over 70, these basic abilities fade quietly and gradually. It happens so slowly that neither you nor those around you may notice, until one day a simple task feels harder, a step feels less steady, or a breath feels shorter. And when that happens, life starts to shrink. But it doesn't have to be that way. You are not powerless. Your body still, your body still listens when you give it attention. Your muscles will still respond when you ask them to work. And your spirit will always rise when you remind yourself of what you're capable of. Whether it's holding your balance just a few seconds longer than you did yesterday, or standing a little taller with each passing week. If even one of these 5 signs made you stop and think today, let that moment be the beginning of something new, not the end. Start with just one challenge. Try it today, then again tomorrow. Watch how the smallest, most consistent efforts can lead to the biggest transformations, not only in your body, but in the way you walk, the way you feel, and how much you trust yourself again. Because independence doesn't disappear with age, it fades when we stop asking our body to support us. So keep asking, keep practicing, keep growing. Thank you for spending this time with us today. I'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments one thing you learned and how you plan to put it into practice in your own life. Your experiences and ideas truly matter, and reading your stories gives us the motivation to keep going. If you enjoyed this video and found it valuable, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit from it. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful, informative content to keep you strong, confident, and independent. Wishing you good health, happiness, and peace always. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so we can keep learning and growing together.